Next item, beer permit request. It's an approval of a Class 6 special occasion beer permit for the Q Crafts and Brew Festival.
Yes, sir. This is a special occasion request, and they're planning it for 11221 Outlet Drive, and it's requesting a special occasion beer permit. And the proposed motion is to waive the $100 application fee and approve the special occasion beer permit for the Q Crafts and Brew Festival, October 13th at 11221 Outlet Drive.
Want to step up to the podium, please?
Good evening. Julie
evening.
Blaylock, President of the Farragut West Knox Chamber of Commerce, 809 Highland Drive, Knoxville, Tennessee.
All right. Tell us a little bit about what.
Is the mic on?
It's hard to hear. Is there a mic on?
Should be. Ours.
Is it on? I think so, yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Q Crafts and Brew is going to be Sunday, October 13th. Most of you remember our Crafts and Ale Festival, which the Chamber put on last year on the same day. And we are taking full credit for the 25-degree drop in temperature. You're welcome. Because it happened then and it's happening again. So this is a little bit different in the sense that that festival was put on entirely by us, and it was strictly crafters and a beer garden. And we secured a couple of food trucks. This festival came about because we had a chamber member who wanted to put on a fundraising festival for another chamber member who is a nonprofit. And they were kind enough to come to us and say, when is your fall event? And when we told them, they said, well, we don't want to step on toes, but maybe we could join forces and go into this together and make it better. And so it's going to mimic what you saw in 2018. There will be local brewers. Currently, we're planning on 4, which I think will be more than plenty. Crafters, local crafters. We have some returning vendors and also some new ones that we're really excited about. But this one is going to also include barbecue. Hence the Q Crafts and Brew. And so it's going to benefit 2 nonprofit entities, one being us, the Chamber, the other being Shangri-La Therapeutic Academy of Writing. And so they are also going to have their minis on site. School of Rock Knoxville, which is a local music school, is going to provide musical services, and the kids are very excited. And it is a ticketed event as well.
Okay. Can you get tickets in advance? Someone was asking me.
Yes, the letter Q, craftsandbrew.com. Click on the buy tickets link. Full access tickets are $25. That is 21 and up only, because that includes 1 brew ticket, 2 Q tickets, and of course a donation to both organizations. You can also get food only tickets for $15, and that just includes the Q tickets. And children that are 10 and under are free. We will have Knox County Police on site, obviously. In case of anything, certainly we hope we don't need them, but we will have them. We will be doing ID checks like we did last year. And hopefully it's going to be a fun event from noon to 6 p.m. We have the excitement and permission of Sitel, which we're using their west side parking lot, and then, of course, Turley and Company, which is the owning property.
I can tell you we're excited to have you again, and we're looking forward to the expanded venue. And
Who's your alcohol server?
So the local brewers are going to be doing their own serving. They are donating their beer. And so, therefore, they are all license bonded in order to be able to do that.
Okay.
members of the board, any other questions or comments?
None? No, sir.
I'm going to move to waive the $100 application fee and approve the special occasion beer permit for the Q Crafts and Brew Festival, October 13th, 2019, at 11221 Outlet Drive.
The second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations. Looking
Hey,
forward to
Julie.
seeing you. Thank you.
Sunday.
Any other business for the beer board? All right, if not, we are adjourned. Thank you.
How much time we got?
We don't.
So be it. Did we have anybody signed up to do the prayer? None? Okay. Well,
Oh, thank you.
thank you.
I need the water.
Okay. Okay, the time is approximately 7:05 p.m. The October 10th, 2019 Farragut Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting will now come to order. Okay, we'll first have a silent prayer tonight, and it'll be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to our country's flag. This is National Prayer Day, by the way.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next will be the agenda. Do we have any changes in tonight's posted agenda?
No, sir.
None.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor, vote by saying yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. The motion to let the record show that the agenda was approved is posted. Okay, tonight on the mayor's report, I want to thank the press and the folks who took time from their busy day to attend the inaugural Mayor's Night Out, which was held this past Tuesday night at Sam and Andy's. We had some excellent relevant questions to go along with some good comfort food. I plan to rotate that around to different restaurants every month with the November event, which will be held at the Candace Vaux's Water to Wine. Thanks again for all who attended. I'll now yield the floor to the Vice Mayor for her report.
I just have, two parts of one thing. As many of you are aware, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I'm not sure if many of you got a chance to read your Farragut Press, but there's an incredible story that Julie Blaylock from our Farragut West Knox Chamber of Commerce was very kind to share because breast cancer hits close to home for most of us. And she's a warrior and beat that. I'm sorry. So am I, but not to the extent that you went through. So I appreciate you sharing that story. I also know his security is doing something for breast cancer awareness. Christina, would you be willing to tell us a little bit about it? I'm sorry, got you on the spot there.
I'm from his security here in town. We're a local company that's right around the corner. One of the two owners, Scott Brokamp, is one of the real men who wear pink this month, and so we are fundraising. He's been the top fundraiser the last 2 years, and his goal is $40,000 this year. And we're about at 15 with a commit somewhere around 18,000 right now. So we've got some work to do before now and the end of the month. And so that's with the American Cancer Society, and it's just a program that was developed so that men can get involved in breast cancer awareness to support the females in their lives, but also people don't realize that there's about 1,000 men a day that get diagnosed with breast cancer themselves.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you, Christina. I
You're
appreciate you willing to get up on the spot, so thank you. So there's still much effort to be made in this, and so I appreciate your story, Julie, and your willingness to share it. That's all I had.
Okay, also want to welcome Knox County Police Officer tonight to our meeting. We sure appreciate you being here. Okay, approval of minutes. Are there any changes to the posted September 26 minutes?
No, sir.
None? Has everyone had a chance to review these minutes?
Yes.
Yes.
If so, I'll need a motion.
Move to approve?
Second.
All in favor, vote by saying yes.
Yes.
Let the record show that said minutes have been approved and will be recorded as official minutes of the September 26, 2019 Farragut Board and Mayor and Alderman meeting. The business items, we only have one business item listed to review and consider on tonight's agenda. Be the rejection of the bids for the Campbell Station wall.
Yes, sir, Mayor. We did receive bids recently for construction of the brickwork for the Campbell Station wall. They came in well over our budget, and so we are asking the board to reject those bids. We're going to go back and have our Public Works Department do as much of the work themselves that they can. We're going to rebid the project based on just the few subs we may need to hire out for that, and then bring that back to you at a future date. We do believe this budget may still be too small for that project, but we certainly think we're going to save a lot of dollars from what we received from the first bid that we got from the general contractor. So with that, we just ask you to reject these bids at this time.
Okay, I'll ask for a motion for the recommendation.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. A discussion? David, could you tell us how much over the bids were?
Yes, sir. We had a budget of $200,000, and the low bid came in at $349,000. So it was a good 75% over our budget. Again, we think that we still may be over budget on this, but we think we're going to be able to cut out a lot of money out of that overall cost that was part of the general contractor's overhead.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. Okay, I have a motion to reject all bids. We'll ask for a roll call vote by the board, please.
Alderman is absent, so Alderman Meyer,
Yes.
Alderman Pinchuk,
Yes.
Alderman Pavlin,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes to reject. Okay, let the record show that the motion to reject the bids for the Campbell Station wall renovation has passed by unanimous roll call vote. Okay, tonight we do not have any business items listed on the agenda, so we'll move on to the town administrator's report.
Mayor, just one thing. I know we'll have another meeting between now and then, but our big event is Freaky Friday coming up on October the 25th. That's always a great time out at Mayor Bob Leonard Park. It'll be from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock that night, and hopefully everybody will come dressed and ready to go. So it's always a great night.
Ready.
I'm sure
ready.
you are.
I have my costume. I'm ready to roll. We're doing it.
So we're looking
I have one
forward to
for
that.
you, too.
I know Sue's staff does a great job getting that prepared every single year. So, and that's all I have to report tonight.
Okay, now Scott, you do understand that you'll be good now at county, so don't dress like scared kids.
If I scare him, I get some for me, right? Isn't that the way it works? Okay, never mind.
Okay, next will be the town's attorney's report, and without our attorney present, I don't think we'll have a report, so we'll move on to citizens forum.
I have one speaker tonight. It's Michael Wilson at 412 Eisenhower Street.
Okay, at this time, we set aside the opportunity for Farragut citizens to sign up and speak concerning items not on tonight's agenda. We ask that each speaker to please pick up a meeting agenda at the door, which is comment protocol on the back, as well as a blue comment card. Please fill out that blue comment card and turn it in to the moderator down front, and please read the comment protocol located on the back of the agenda. If you agree to abide by the comment protocol, please step over to the podium and give us your name and address for the record, and you'll have 5 minutes to speak. Mr. Wilson.
Good evening. Again, Michael Wilson, 412 Eisenhower Street, Farragut, Tennessee. I do have a couple of handouts if I could. I'm a training facilitator by trade, so I always have to have a handout.
I like it. Thank you. Thanks, sir.
So as I saw you had a light agenda tonight, I thought I'd take this opportunity to bring a couple issues before you that I've been kind of mulling over. As you know, the Comprehensive Land Use Plan was approved in 2012. The plan calls for updates as conditions change. In the plan, a major update is one that is, quote, substantially changes the land uses, goals, or intent of the plan. Major updates should include substantial public outreach to help check that plan reflects current attitudes. Over the last few years, the town has had a working group reviewing the plan and recommending changes. For example, the future land use plan has been reviewing the land use descriptions at Watt Road, Corridor, Outlook Drive, and I think it's in the Farragut Press today that there was some meetings recently around McPhee Road. Last October, the working group recommended, and it was approved, another change. It was a creation of a high-density land use description that consists of 9 to 12 dwelling units per acre. This was approved along with a text amendment to medium-density residential land use, setting its density at 6 to 8 units per acre. This has created an issue with the R6 zoning ordinance that it no longer aligns to medium-density residential land use description. This month, the Municipal Planning Commission will hold a discussion on a change of the Farragut zoning ordinance to provide for medium-density multifamily zoning district to resolve this conflict. The handouts I've provided to you highlight some of the remaining large vacant parcels in the town of Farragut. I'm sure there are many others that you may wish to consider, but these are the ones that I've kind of highlighted, the major areas. Just as the town has reviewed the Watt Road corridor and the Outlook Drive areas of the future land use map, the town ought to review all large vacant parcels to determine if their density designation reflects the public's current attitudes. For example, as the town continues to seek creation of a town center, it does not make sense to me that there would be over 78 acres adjacent to the town center land that is planned for low-density residential land use. Please refer to pages 2 and 4 to see those parcels. This is one example of a change that should be considered. As well, there's a significant amount of open land along Boring Road. You can see those on pages 5 through 7. Residents in this area have serious concerns regarding the type of development that will be approved and the impacts on local traffic and infrastructure. Traffic along the Kingston Pike is a serious concern, and a fourth stoplight at the Boring Road intersection is not desirable. And finally, in the southwest area of town around McPhee Park and east of Virtue Road is currently designated as rural residential. That's included on page 8 of your handout. I just asked the question, is that the town's long-term plan to keep these large vacant parcels around McPhee Park as rural residential as it's designated in the land use plan? So in the 7 years since the comprehensive land use plan was updated, the town of Farragut has changed significantly. As the town continues to review areas of the future land use plan, I asked the Board of Mayor and Aldermen and the Municipal Planning Commission to hold public workshops in the evening to discuss and modify the land use descriptions of these and other vacant parcels before taking action on any rezoning request. In doing so, the town can update the future land use map to reflect current attitudes of the town and her residents. As well, this will ensure all residents are treated equitably and that all local residents will have the same opportunity to voice their opinions as those along Watt Road and Outlook Drive. This process will also provide an opportunity for the town to collaborate with residents and to address concerns regarding ongoing development and the need to ensure infrastructure changes are planned for in advance. I ask you to consider this proposal and take this opportunity to work with the residents in setting our path for the next 7 years. Thank you for all the work each of you do to make Farragut the place to live in the greater Knoxville area. I'm available to discuss this evening or separately if you so desire.
Michael, just give me clarity. What is it that you're requesting at this time?
I'm asking that before we make rezoning decisions on large vacant parcels and land that we reevaluate them to determine, one, should they remain low density, medium density, or be considered for high density residential development on the future land use map. I think that's only fair because other areas have been looked at. We haven't looked at this in 7 years. We've changed land use descriptions. The town is currently going through this process. And I think it's just smart that we make those decisions and have public input to these major changes as required under the land use plan before we make rezoning decisions and then later go back and look and said we should have changed that density on that land, the land use density. And I did have a second item, and I did fill out 2 cards, so if y'all will bear with me, but.
Don't we have a 1 card limit? Just kidding. Go for it.
I'm fine to listen
I'm fine.
to it.
I'd like to hear him if that's okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's good, yeah.
Yes, thank you.
So if there's no other questions, I'll discuss my second issue. Again, Michael Wilson, 412 Eisenhower Street, Farragut. My second concern deals with the Tennessee Open Meetings Act and how it pertains to special meetings that those serving an elected or appointed positions attend. The Tennessee Attorney General Opinion 88-169 issued September 18, 1998 states, 2 or more members of a governing body should not deliberate toward a decision or make a decision on public business without complying with the Open Meetings Act. I'm sure each of you are aware of this as you go through the same training that I do as a Board of Zoning Appeals member. This training advises that elected and appointed members should not attend a meeting with another member unless public notice has been provided. I have 2 concerns with the current business practices of the town. First is public notice. Our normal means of providing public notice for special meetings where 2 or more members are present is to place them on the Sunshine Board in the lobby of Town Hall. This would comply with the findings of Kistner versus Town of Oliver Springs, Tennessee Court of Appeals 1994, if the meeting is one that would not be expected to be of interest to the general public. The challenge here seems to be determining if a meeting would be of the interest of the general public. In September 2014, before I was a member of the BZA, I attended a meeting with 2 town officials and others at a private business to discuss a proposal that had significant public interest. I do not know if public notice was provided at the time, which leads me to my second concern. Recently, I attempted to determine if there was public notice announcement recorded for this particular meeting. Upon talking to the town administrator's office, I was advised that these types of meeting announcements were not retained. I was advised that other items from the board are retained, such as news articles on town events. I find it strange that the town retains newspaper articles for historical purposes, but not public notices for meetings similar to the one that I attended 4 years ago that are most likely covered by the Sunshine Law. I suggest that the Board of Mayor and Aldermen consider this issue and determine if there is a better way to provide these announcements, such as a calendar on the town's website. That's my first suggestion. Second, I suggest the town consider maintaining all announcements of public meetings as required by the Open Meetings Act for a specific designated period of time as determined by Mr. Hale, the town council, working with Mr. Smoke, the town administrator. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Any more signed up? Nobody?
No, sir.
else? Okay, well, if there's none, then the time is approximately 7:18, and it's not a record p.m. And without objection, the October 10th, 2019 Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting is now adjourned.